All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checker TV. It's already playoff time, and we're going to kick off our 4-race playoff here tonight at Daytona International Speedway, as it will be a 75-lap race here this evening. As always, one fast repair available to the drivers, 3 green white checkered attempts should we need it. And saying this is where now our top 12 in the points will be putting on their first race to try to win that championship. And we'll be going over the list of those drivers I should say, here in just a moment. Right now they're all putting down their qualifying laps as we speak. However, I got to give a big thank you to Levy Designs. They are sponsoring tonight's event. And as you look at the info page of the race on YouTube, you can see you go to Facebook, and website is Levy Designs, or you can go to facebook.com/LesLevy Designs, LESLEVY Designs. So he's done some paint schemes for some of the drivers here before, and also just a really good dude. And obviously it's a nice way for him as well, just to kind of support the league a little extra. So big thank you to Les, and yeah, definitely appreciate that. And hopefully we'll see him on track again soon. Also a really good sim racer here, especially on the super speedway side. Definitely missed seeing him on track, but yeah, definitely a really good dude. So appreciate you a bunch, Les, and thanks for sponsoring tonight. And hopefully these guys will put on a good show for you in this race this evening. I should be joined shortly by a certain Matt Wagner, so I think he's getting all his I's dotted and T's crossed. And so also got to mention, with it being the first race of the playoff, what you will see is in the timing and scoring, you will be seeing drivers' names highlighted in green. Those will be the playoff drivers. And again, a big thank you as well there to Peter DeBorgia, again, one of our part-time drivers, really good dude, and say he was able to give me some magic settings to make it look very nice and make it nice and easy for all these guys to kind of spot who the playoff drivers are, and hopefully as well for you all to be able to find who your favorite drivers are. Actually, we'll pull up that timing and scoring here as we speak. It's like right now you can see right now that first position car, first 2 cars, they're not highlighted in green. Third car you'll see right now at the moment is Vicente Guerrero and then Rick Sanchez. Those are highlighted in green, which means those are some of our playoff drivers. So that's what you'll be looking for there. And then we'll also have the same on that ticker when we get to the vertical ticker once we get under green. So yeah, appreciate you checking everything out. Connie, good evening. And I want to say, we'll go over that list of playoff drivers. But I believe, check here where Jeremy Osborne is. Oh, no. So for some reason, I thought Jeremy was one of the playoff drivers, but he didn't have enough races enough to get up there. But thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting him as well. So I will now go through that list of the 12 playoff drivers in no particular order. First of those will be Dude Conrad, followed by Vicente Guerrero, Bud Steele, Gabe Butler, Rick Sanchez, Dean Wilkinson, Quabi Brooks, Eric Laurie, Zach Perry, one of our playoff drivers, right on time there for drivers or for rooting on the 017 76. Nick Wing, Jason Bogart, and Jim Brooks. So those will be the 12 drivers vying for that overall championship here tonight. Again, race number 1. So it's gonna be a lot of fun to see who's able to get out there. And yeah, definitely appreciate you as well rooting them on Ramrod. And yeah, like I said, hopefully they put on a good show for all of us here this evening. All right, with that, qualifying has just completed. So now, of course, what we got to do is we'll pull that timing scoring back up, but we're going to show our official grid for tonight. And it is going to be Gabe Butler, one of our playoff drivers, going to kick it off here on pole position. Next to him, Robert Hooligan. But we've talked about him plenty. He has been super quick, just waiting to get the right break at the right time to get himself to the top of the running order. Then you've got Tom Dixon, great lap by him in the 411. Vicente Guerrero and Rick Sanchez there in top 5, also playoff drivers. Then you got Dean Wilkinson, Dude Conrad, and then really fun to see Charles Johnson back, one of the founding members of the league. So glad to see him back on track. And then Eric Laurie, Bud Steele, 2 more playoff contenders. And then Quabi Brooks as well. Jeremy Osborne there in that 12th position, a solid run for him in qualifying. And continuing down the order here, we've got Nick Wing, Jason Bogart, Frank Ranger, Kevin Fries, Seth Groover, and then set the first of those not to put down a qualifying lap, including himself, Dustin Loxton, Ed DeBoer, Zach Perry, Jim Brooks, Ambrose Kniebel, Bob Fitzgerald, and Ryan Decker. And then starting shotgun tonight will be the 79 of Mike Remkes. All right, so as you can see, field starting to grid up here. I think just one car left to pop in, and then they will begin their pace lap here tonight. And again, 75 laps are scheduled distance. Should we get into that green-white checkered territory, that could extend out further, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. And of course, like I mentioned, one fast pair available for all the drivers. 3 green-white checkers should we need it. If there's a incident on the last green-white checkered, at that point the race would be official, and it would be at the time of the yellow is where they wind up. So hopefully don't get to that. Also, fuel mileage sounds like should be a two-stop race on fuel, no problem. If we go green start to finish around, I was hearing in the 27, maybe even 28, 29 lap range. So yeah, so if we go green, expect to see a 2-stop race with that strategy. Again, basically at that point, these guys will want to split it somewhere around the 25, 50 range. Of course, able to go a little further should they choose to. So you can see the field here bringing themselves up there. Getting everybody situated. You see the back of the field catching up as well. And then we will get things underway here in just a moment. So it does look like 24 of the 25 cars have gridded. I do not see, unfortunately, Mike Remkes. So we'll keep an eye, see if he's able to pop back in. But at the moment, looks like we'll have 24 drivers gridding this evening. All right, so as they head through 3 and 4 to get this warm-up underway, again, you can see on the timing square in the top, that's going to switch to the vertical ticker, if you will. That will then do the same thing. You'll see those cars highlighted in green are playoff contenders. And again, no bonus points or anything like that. It's just where they finish. So basically, winner gets the most points, second place, third place. Let's say from there on back, it's all 1 point difference. I want to say the winner gets, I believe, a couple extra points if I'm not mistaken. However, we'll find out here, though. Pace car is off. They're going to hand it over to our front row, as it's going to be Gabe Butler here leading the field to the green as we are underway. 75 laps here, playoff race number 1 at Daytona International Speedway. I think I saw someone sneak in there just as we went green. As up front, the Robert Hooligan, a great start for him. He's going to jump to the front there with help with Vicente Guerrero as well. So Gabe Butler actually dropping a couple spots right off the kick. But again, lots of time to go here, and I don't think he's too worried about that as of yet as they head into 3 for the first time. And I can tell you Mike Remkes has just left pit road, so he's going to be probably about at least a half a lap down, but able to make the race, so that's always great news to see Mike in the field here tonight. So we'll keep an eye on see how he's able to progress as we go through. Right now, it looks like Vicente and Robert here leading the field for the first time on lap 1, starting lap number 2 now. Matt, I saw you spying on one of our playoff drivers. I say he's been gone for a little while recovering. How is that fella doing, that Rick Sanchez?
Yeah, he's doing all right. He's just feeling a little sore, and he's just glad to be back on track.
Yeah, it's definitely good to have him back. And yeah, I mean, back surgery is no laughing matter. He's got to definitely recover well from that one. So, like I said, though, definitely very happy to have him back. Competitors, probably happy to have him back as a person. Probably not happy to have him back as a competitor, because he's going to be one vying for that title. I feel like these final 4 races. As see up top there, Matt, Kevin Freeze, he's jumped to the 3rd lane there. He has got Dustin Loxton going with him. You can go 3 wide here, but it's usually a little bit tighter than other times. I like I always say Talladega, I feel more comfortable doing it. You can do it here, but it's definitely one of those ones where you're probably kind of holding your breath a little more than at other tracks.
Well, as me and him were talking during the race, he said he was going to roll to the back, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Because it is getting feisty up there.
Yeah, but Steele had a moment there. He's able to catch it. He won't lose the draft or anything either. So, but yeah, definitely a moment there. And yeah, that roll into the back, probably feeling pretty good right now for him. He's like, yeah, I didn't like what I saw there. And that's exactly why I didn't like what I saw. So we always joke though, Matt, but if there's a third line to be had, you're going to see a Groover brother up there. And we'll hop on board with that Groover brother. And that's Seth. And actually, surprisingly, I don't know if Mom said, hey, stop it, get back to the middle lane, but he's actually jumped to the middle there. So, man, Dean Wilkinson squeezed there between himself, Gabe, and Dustin. But again, everybody stays pointing in the right direction. But I think we see the plan right now, Matt. Some guys want to get after it. Some guys pretty much from about, I'd say from about Jeremy Osborne on back are thinking, you know what? I'm going to log some laps here a little bit, and then we'll start to go after it once we get to that point. But right now, some of these guys, I think, just trying to play it safe a little bit because they see what we see up front, and that's 3 wide, about 3, almost 4 rows deep at the moment. And these guys, man, they are getting tight on each other here. Honestly, I kind of expect to see at some point here that 55 Dean Wilkinson to do similar to what we saw, like you'd mentioned with Rick. I think Dean is one of those that he'll have, oh my goodness, Justin Loxton, he'll have some fun for a little bit, and then he'll say, all right, let me roll out of here. But yeah, that's like you see they're catching Mike Rimkus here, and we'll see what Mike can do. Yep, and there you go. Yeah. Mike's gonna roll the apron.
Good idea.
But I don't like this though.
He's going too slow.
Yeah, he slowed down way too much. He
might get a yellow because Dustin caught the wall. Oh, he's back in the wall.
Yeah, he's kind of got that sticky wall.
Hang on to it, buddy.
Looks like he's got it, and I gotta say, big props there also is Jason Bogart. Jason saw it happening, Matt. He gave him lots of space, lots of time to recover from it, and so he's going to be okay as well. So we do stay green. Obviously, unfortunately, Dustin's going to fall back a fair bit, but just fair play to Jason there. Gave him all the room he needed to recover. Obviously, cost Jason some track position, but he'll slot in. Looks like, I think Bob Fitzgerald doing the same. Said, hey, slot back on in here if you want. So yeah, won't lose the draft, so no drama there, but unfortunately just some track position lost, and that's kind of calmed things down up front a little bit. You see Vicente here. I think Vicente's going to roll to the back now as well, and so that's going to bring one of our returning drivers, Matt, one of the OGs, if you will, Charles Johnson in that 9 car. He's going to lead the outside, but not so fast. Gabe said, I'll take that outside lane, as he's going to get back to the point here in that number 88. And he should just clear the 2026. There he goes. Actually, easily clears. And that's going to now put Charles again here leading that outside lane.
You know, technically, I'm an OG.
I mean, you're definitely old in general, but yeah.
Oh, thanks.
But no, you're right, and that's one of the things I do love. I mean, this league's been going for I don't even know the number of years at this point, but we've still got so many of those original members like Charles Johnson, Bud Steele, Jim Brooks, Dean Wilkinson, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I mean, we've seen Jack Walls recently, and so it's really cool to see, like, again, years gone and these guys still back after it. I want to say Gabe was also pretty quick over here with the league. Oh, we got trouble.
Yep. Oh, slow down, guys. Come on. Oh, Rick barely is. Oh, God.
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin is tumbling, doing barrier walls. Yep. Oh, he's right back on his lid.
Got on his lid, though, but he has to take a tow, unfortunately. That's going to bring the first yellow out, and not a lot of cars got through that one, Matt. We're going to have to go back and take a look.
He just did an Elliott Sadler right in the same location, too, didn't he?
So let's go back, and that's a good break for Mike Rimkus. He should get his lap back. Oh, man, Eric Laurie's, that car is really roughed up as well. And so, talk about the one fast repair, Matt. There's going to be a lot of fast repairs kicking off on this one. But let's go here and take another look. So we're going to focus on Kevin here on the entry. Oh, I wonder if he got bumped right on the entry because that car, well, actually, no, that was before really all that. Let's get a better look here, see if we can catch exactly how this occurred here. So again, you see Kevin, he clears Charles Johnson. He comes to the inside. Actually, oh, he gets really loose. And actually, you see then, yeah, dude, Conrad, he tries to follow. And yeah, I think just unfortunately a little bit of a mistake there. And at that point, all these guys just know where to go. You see the 9, they're able to sneak through, but then you see the 25, the 071, the 8 all caught up. And then unfortunately, in the wrong spot, the wrong time is the 48. As I'm going to switch focus to is Ryan Decker because, Matt, this is where things really start to kick off. We'll get a really outside shot here. He catches Seth Groover a little bit, but then from here you see Dean Wilkinson and Tom Dixon right behind him get a piece of it. And then we'll pause it again here. And you see towards the back here, Eric Laurie, he starts to kind of spin down the track. And at that point, you see Vicente there. He gets the pretty big shot on the right front. There's Jeremy Osborne, the 53, the 81 there. Oh my, we're gonna watch Rick Sanchez's point of view next, Matt.
I was just gonna ask you, can we go to his cockpit? I want to watch.
That may have been one of the best avoidances. And yeah, and then you see further back there the one car. You see Jim Brooks in there. There's Kevin doing the barrel rolls. That's a huge incident. I see. Look at Bob Fitzgerald though. He's rolling down on the grass. That's a really good place to avoid that incident. So yeah, Matt. Let's go back one more time here. We're gonna hop on board and at speed with that number 5 machine. There he is. I had to hunt him down here. All right, so let's watch this at speed. And then you can see further down the field, they're still spinning. That's man. I mean, that couldn't be a race winning move, a championship winning move. I mean, obviously, still lots of time to go, but oh my goodness. So with all of that, you can see drivers coming back out on track. A few drivers, some lengthy repairs done to theirs. Obviously, some fast repairs being done as well. Mike Rimkus back on the lead lap, I believe, in that number 79. And yeah, NetSpeed, glad to see you back, and yeah, glad to have Rick back in the driver's seat, but make sure he's not roughing himself up too much. I'm sure he was probably pretty tense there, but here, Matt, the lights should go off of the pace car this time around. That's gonna give us the 1 to go here. Drivers I still do see on pit road are Ryan Decker. He's actually just rolling now. Kevin Free is already down and away, as is Ambrose Kniebel. So that should trap these two just 1 down. Ryan Decker is going to stay tail end of the lead lap. And you can see he's definitely opted to keep the save his fast repair. A little bit of damage to the left side. But again, these cars get really repaired pretty well here. So, and also really liking the paint scheme there. As I saw on the door there, you had on the side it says Sensi for Dixon with the National Kidney Foundation. So really, really appreciate that. And we'll definitely be bringing that up as well at times where their son Dixon, I say he's trying to find a kidney transplant. So definitely hope to see if we can find some way to get him a little bit of help there too. So Matt had a few guys top off here. That's going to include, I believe, Eric Laurie. Jim Brooks was one as well. Actually, I think dude Conrad may have been the first of those to top off. Yeah, he is in the 8 car. So we're going to have a few drivers top off, and I'm going to try to do some quick bad math here.
I might need your bad math tomorrow.
Oh, you're in trouble if you need my math. So I don't think anything changes. I think at this point it's still a 2-stop race to the end. Because basically, Matt, these guys can go. I heard about 27, 28 laps on kind of full send mode. At this point, they would have to go about 30. What would it be? About 32 laps per stint to make it to the end. So I don't see that happening. So yeah, I think at this point, still pretty much a 2-stop to the end. And like I mentioned, you see everybody trying to get lined up here in the right positions at the moment. And so Lucky Dog battle is going to be between the 25 there, Kevin Freeze, and the 04 Ambrose Kniebel. You can see. And the thing is, they're starting way further up here because of all those drivers that topped off on the 1 to go. So that Lucky Dog battle is going to be right off the kick here. And yeah, now at this point, some of these drivers, they're going to have to kind of probably play a little bit more cautious. So up front, Gabe Butler back to the number 1 spot here on this restart. as we get back to green here. Matt starting lap number 12. And no, Jamie, you are the first Bud Steele for the win call, so we'll keep an eye on him. And speaking of, he's right there in that number 6 car on the inside lane behind Gabe. As, again, little bobbles there as they build up speed there. Robert Hooligan giving a little shot to Charles Johnson. And Ryan Decker, that car is looking not too worse for wear even after his damage. So repairs looking pretty solid in that number 48 machine.
My question is to you, Gail. Think these guys are going to calm down?
It's not looking like it, but we'll see. As I'm also watching that Lucky Dog battle right now, Kevin Freeze, he's got help from Dustin Logston. Ambrose is on the inside line, but right now Kevin has the point. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. I feel like some of the playoff drivers, yes, I think they kind of have to, especially those that had to burn a fast repair. I mean, I look at a Vicente. I want to say he was involved in it. Dean Wilkinson, he's kind of further back now as well. So I do think, I think some playoff guys are going to have to back it down a little bit to play it safe. I want to say Jim Brooks also had to take a fast repair. So again, it's we don't have a way of knowing for sure other than kind of trying to watch each car when they pit. But yeah, I do think there's going to be a number of guys that are probably going to have to play it safe. Especially, like I said, especially if you're a playoff driver, I think you got to make sure that you can make it to the end. Especially if you don't have that fast repair still in your pocket.
Yeah. Right now, there's still 2x2x2, but I'm just kind of waiting for somebody to creep up back there. Knowing Kevin, he did have to take a fast repair. I might have spoke too soon, but I'm seeing the 071 go up 3 wide now.
Eric's
and the 32. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, honestly, because I think Eric's the same boat. I think, Eric had to take a fast repair as well. So a little surprised to see Eric going 3. So he's got his teammates his inside of him there. Dude, Conrad in the 8th car. I'll see Jason Bogart now pop into that 3rd lane as well. But again, we have to mention, Matt, is these cars, again, not symmetrical. So usually you'll see, unfortunately, we saw earlier with Dustin Logston, it's really easy to get the right rear kind of hooked into that outside wall, and then it'll pretty much pull your right front right into it. So to me, that's one of the more dangerous spots there. And you can see the 48 here. I think he's rolling to the back. Again, I think he might still have a little bit of lingering damage. He can safely hold the draft, but you can see right there that car it looks like it's still a little bit off. I say it just looks a little edgy to me. So I think that's where Ryan said, you know what, let me just try to ride this out. Let me get some repairs done here. A little more repairs, I should say, done. But yeah, right now you can see that car's just moving left and right a fair bit there. So I think there's a little bit of
wheel damage.
Yeah, maybe some wheel damage lingering that hasn't been fully repaired. But again, though, still safely able to hang on to that draft. So things, just saw there in the foreground there, Charles Johnson, a big move to the inside in front of Robert Hooligan. So looks like things settling in just a little bit now. And I believe I saw Ambrose having some connectivity issues. He's doing the nice thing here. He's rolling out to the back just to make sure he doesn't affect anybody there. So that's going to put Kevin Freeze in a pretty safe spot now to be the first car 1 lap down. But as things run here, I think he's going to look to get it the old-fashioned way.
Seems like Ryan Carr is pretty good. He's just rolling, just chilling.
I think the car's okay. Yeah, it just seemed a little bit squirrelier than the others to me. So that's why you mentioned like the wheel damage. Like, it's definitely possible that there's a little bit lingering, and it might be one of those things where it drives okay as long as he's not having to be kind of right on the back of somebody pushing or getting pushed. And that might be where that car starts to get unsettled. So I think, like I said, I think for Ryan, this is a really good spot for him to be, just to kind of feel it out, get a little bit, just kind of, keep himself in a safe place and hopefully be able to get some more repaired during the next pit stop, or should he need to, maybe take that fast repair. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on him over the course of the race. So right now, looking at the playoff drivers, right now the furthest back of the playoff drivers is Nick Wing here in that Pennzoil machine. Again, we talked about Mike Rimkus back on the lead lap after getting that wave round. So missed the start, but again, was able to avoid the incident. So he's in a good spot. Vicente Guerrero in the 14 also is in the playoffs, but a fair bit back as well. But again, still lots of time to go here, Matt. Not even hit the third distance mark, and then you got the father-son duo here, Jim and Quabi Brooks as well, just right now kind of cruising. And again, I think Jim had to use a fast repair because he had a pretty big shot as well. So there's going to be a number of, I think, some repairs. And speaking of trying to get the lap back the old-fashioned way, Matt, here comes Kevin. He's got a nose ahead of Gabe. Can't clear yet, but he's got lots of help from Dustin Logston, help from Rick Sanchez, and then behind Rick is the number 32 of Seth Groover. Gabe's going to work both lanes here out of 2, though. He's going to jump top, get a push from the 25, comes back down to the inside before the 9 has a chance to go. And so, again, talk about maybe some of the aggression, if you will. These guys not staying dedicated to just the one lane here. These guys will try to work both lanes to figure out where the momentum is. It's close there between the 9 and the 25. They're out of 4.
Yeah, I'll be kind of weary. We're trying to race up front and stay up front a little bit. The risk of trying to stay up front and get your lap back is being up in the wreck, causing a wreck or being a part of a wreck, or I just like hanging out in the back if I'm a lap down. But I'm looking where Ambrose Nebel is, but he's pretty much running at the tail on the lead lap. So
yeah, right now they're bookending it.
Yeah. So right now Ambrose is technically your lucky dog at the moment, but things can change.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, Dustin's getting a great push from Rick here. However, it's just those 2 up top now. So yeah, the thing I was going to say too is, yeah, it's the risk versus reward being up front, being aggressive. However, when you've got a teammate behind you, a teammate next to you, and a driver you really trust as well, you feel pretty comfortable about the position you're in, obviously. And also, I mean, Kevin's not one to just ride without reason. So if he can be racy, he's going to be racy. So right now, like I said, he is now tail-ended lead lap, which means this guy right here, Ambrose Kniebel, he is actually in that lucky dog position. So if he can just keep it nice and clean, if something were to happen, he'd be able to actually get back on that lead lap as things stand. So that said, like I said, Matt, I'm never shy to steal some extra love for some of the drivers, for the fans that are watching. So Connie's rooting on that 41 of Jeremy Osborne. So we'll give him a little bit of extra attention there in that yellow and green blind squirrel racing car. So again, I love the paint scheme that they do with these things, and I can't help but every time I laugh, I say when you see that squirrel just completely jacked.
Yeah.
I definitely would not be messing with the squirrels if I saw one out there like that. However, Matt, up front, Lucky Dog has now changed. It's going to go back to Kevin because Dustin Logston there takes the point once more. And I think I just saw there Kevin just caught the apron a little bit on the entry of 3. You could see that car really bobble. He's able to catch it. But yeah, again, these cars, you can get them just a little off, and they're not happy about it. So, but right now, I see Dean Wilkinson, Matt. He's working his way back up towards the front of the 55. He's got teammate Tom Dixon behind him. I see the 17, Jason Bogart. He's starting to join the party there as well. And then not too far behind him is the teammate of Jason Bogart, Zach Perry, in that 76. So wouldn't be surprised to see Zach at some point pop up as well in that 76 Do It Best machine. So right now they're all kind of jumping around a little bit, but still plenty of time. Again, they're all pitted right around lap 10, Matt. So based on that number, really these guys can go probably to about lap 30, I'd say probably about 37, 38, somewhere in that window. So we'll have to keep an eye on. But again, I don't think there's any fuel saving being done up front. I do not think there's any way humanly possible anybody can one stop it from here. The only thing someone could do is maybe again save a little bit of fuel, maybe try to shorten that final stop. Should we go green from here to the finish?
I hate fuel saving.
As Em was saying, yeah, I mean, again, we had our season opener on the IndyCar series. You had a great result for yourself, but you got more switches and dials to play with in those cars.
That's true. That's true. But
it's all throttle here.
Yeah, it's all throttle, but as I say, in the old IndyCar, they didn't.
Yeah, the DW12s.
Well, yeah. iRacing.
The iRacing version,
change everything. Yep. So It's just your steering wheel and gas pedal, and it's all same thing as these guys are running. It's just feel.
Yep, and again, I mean, if you're leading the pack, obviously, right now, we've seen in NASCAR where the leading car will actually run part throttle while holding lead. That's not the case in iRacing with these cars. You see Seth Gruber here; he's up 3, but he's by himself there, flirting with the wall there for a second. So Seth's gonna need to find somebody to try to run that third lane with him right now. Not having any takers. But yeah, like I said, if you're further back, like again, like where Ryan Decker is, where Bud Steele is, yeah, there you can definitely be rolling out of it, kind of keeping that maybe a car length or two from the guy in front. And really the goal is to just find that like 70 whatever percent throttle where you're not having to lift and then full throttle, lift, full throttle. You want to just try to hold that kind of that easy pedal window. And so I think that's what we're seeing probably for some of these guys. And so that's something that same thing, just you learn with practice and practice. And I've seen some other drivers, they've told me and showed me some things they do to save fuel, and it's beyond what I would be able to reasonably do, like, and still keep the car pointed in the right direction. So, but right now, ooh man, Dustin got a little push from Kevin. That got that car a little unsettled. However, that's because they're trying to fight Rick and Dean on that outside line, as right now Rick's got a nose ahead, but not enough to clear as we start lap 27.
I say these guys probably maybe got 14 to 15 more laps on fuel, possibly.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me as well. Like I said, they pitted around 10, so they've done about 15, 17 laps. So it might be a little less, might be around 12, 13-ish. But also I got to talk about too, Matt, is just this season overall, though, there's been a lot of parity. I'm looking at the stats right now, and there's only one driver with multiple wins this season, and that was the number 8 car of Dude Conrad, able to get 2 wins. So everybody else, Vicente 1 win, Bud Steele 1 win, Gabe Butler 1 win, Kevin Freeze, Adam Kilday, a lot of just single winners so far this season. Whereas, let's say, Dude Conrad, the only one to get more than 1 win, and it was just 2. So again, just shows that it's definitely hasn't been a season dominated by any one person. It's everybody's been able to get a little bit here and there, and that's what makes these things so difficult. And especially now when we compress it all to a 4-race playoff. I mean, we harp on it every season, obviously, but every point's going to matter. Every position's going to matter. If you can steal a spot at the finish line in this race, that could be the difference maker come the finale. So a little bit of contact there that I don't think the 5 was clear.
Hang on to it. Okay, they're good.
Oh my goodness, Gabe Butler, I don't know how he hung on to that car. And again, you talk about, is the front safe, is the back safe? You don't know, but amazing saves by a number of drivers there. So we stay green, but yeah, I think it was just a little bit of maybe miscommunication, or one of those things too, Matt. The gaps closed quick, so Rick may have been cleared for a second, and as soon as he changed lanes, Justin Logston maybe got a bit of a shove and was able to get back to his inside corner. I don't think it was a move trying to block. I think it was just one of those momentum shifted too quick for Rick to see it happening, and we've seen that from time to time.
I say these cars over time will build up a lot of heat in that right front tire, especially these older cars. Probably give them a case of just a little bit looseness. I couldn't see if they got out of balance or not, or crazy.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect that, but luckily everybody able to hold it, and that kind of brings us back to what we talk about a lot of times too, Matt, where it's that risk versus reward. Do you want to be aggressive, be up front because you think you'll be ahead of the incident, or again, if you're further back in the field, just kind of playing it safe like these guys are right now, it puts you at risk of maybe losing the draft should something happen and not bring out the yellow if you react to it.
Okay, he's just jumping out. He's just going. I respect his decision.
I heard you get nervous, so he jumped back to the front.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and that's the other thing too, Matt, especially with this league trying to stay as hands off as possible. Again, not throwing yellows and things of that nature. It makes it where it's a risk versus reward. I mean, like I said, if there's a wreck and all the cars stay pointing straight, iRacing won't throw a yellow. And so in that sense, if you're having to try to dodge the wreck and everything, you're you're kind of you're between a rock and a hard place, really, because if you stay full throttle, you might drive into the wreck, and somebody that gets hit is not going to be happy about it. If you back down, you might lose the draft, and you won't be happy about it. So, again, that's the risks you have to take in this league with the racing. Is you don't know for sure if and when there could be a yellow with it. So, that's that risk where you won't be in the incident because you're far enough back, but it could cost you the draft. So, that's where these guys have to make those decisions. But right now, though, Charles Johnson giving Tom Dixon here a great push down the back. Dean Wilkinson right there. So actually, these are 3 TW Motorsports drivers here working that top 3 spots at the moment. With Rick Sanchez now in there, Jason Bogart, Seth Groover. So really good showing here early for TW. And here comes an early pit stops, Matt.
Wow, that's kind of earlier than I expected.
I think this is a strategy call. They want to try to see if they can break away from the other drivers. So it's going to be the Bootknocker team, Kevin Fries, Eric Laurie, Dude Conrad. They're all going to come in together again. Now they're going to, again, because there's a bigger window here. So I think they're going to run this race backwards here. And again, this is a race where you can pit and you won't lose a lap. So what should happen is Kevin, yep, he should be the first one rolling. Eric Laurie should be not too far behind. There he goes. There goes Dude. And then we'll see Gabriel in as well. So it looks like these guys will stay nicely organized. And this is exactly what you need, Matt, if you want to try to see if you can do a breakaway here. So now we'll jump up front. Do we see a reaction? And it looks like Seth Groover's going to come in. However, he is coming in solo. No teammates with the 32. Really big lockup on the entry. However, he had a full draft lap there. So if he can get if he had a really good in lap and a good entry and a quick exit, he could
get the Bootknockers.
He could have a chance to tag onto their draft, but he's going to have to be right on the top of his game. So we'll keep an eye once he starts rolling out where he cycles around. But so right now, here's the leaders. Then we jump back to Gabe and them, and you can see right now they're entering 3, and then here comes the field about to enter 3. So it's not a big gap. I can tell you Seth already rolling out of pit road, and Matt, Seth definitely went quick on his pit stop. He was 8.85 seconds in the pits compared to about 11 and 12. For Gabe, Dude, and Eric. So this should safely get him out in front. The problem is probably too far out in front, and that's going to, again, now bring out that risk of he's got to make sure he tags onto their draft as well as he can. But, I mean, look at the gap he's got. So he's going to have to kind of honestly wait for almost a lap here before Gabe and then give to him. And there's the field behind those 4. And so that's that risk right now is now these guys that pitted early, they've got to lock on. They've got to start hauling the mail because if they don't, that field could trap them a lap down, and that's basically exactly the opposite. Yeah,
that's a really good strategy. If you can catch a draft on them, and somehow you can maybe pull like a couple of seconds or even a couple of tenths, or that's going to be really. That could be Team Bootknockers there. They could be down by maybe about 2 or 3 seconds, but you see, look at Seth there, Gael.
Yeah, so I'm trying to keep an eye to see how Seth's progress goes. And right now it's already 8 tenths, 9 tenths now. And I don't think it's going to be able to say, and because what they're doing right now is they, like I said, they're making time. Lap times last lap, Matt, leaders ran Ryan Decker ran a 58 along with Bud Steele. The 9-car Charles Johnson ran an 88. Gabe Butler ran a 97, so they're about a tenth of a lap slower than the leaders that last time by. I think this lap's going to be a lot quicker for them. As you see, they're just about to cross the line, as they just did. And, yeah, there's a big number there, Matt. 44.37 compared to a 45 for this pack here. So almost 6 tenths of, actually over 6 tenths of a second quicker by Gabe Butler, Jude Conrad, Eric Laurie. And then, yeah, unfortunately for Seth Groover, it was exactly what we talked about. He didn't have the help. He needed somebody to kind of keep his pace up. So that means at this point, unfortunately, he will get swallowed up by the pack here. So that's the gamble you take, is you got to make sure you've got somebody on the same page as you. But like I said, he just had too quick of a stop and wasn't able to hold their draft once they got to him. So what'll happen now is the leaders are going to start to pick up
Ryan
his
Decker's
draft.
pitting.
And yeah, here we go. Another group of drivers hitting. Oh, no, Ryan.
Oh, no, what?
That was Robert Hooligan, I think, got in way too hot, so he had to jump back on track to avoid a penalty. So that's going to cost Robert here the draft. So yeah, so now you got 3 coming in together. But surprisingly, though, it's not the full team here. It's just Nick Wing, Ed DeBoer, Ryan Decker. Whereas Jim Brooks, Quabi Brooks, and Bud Steele continue to stay out there. So a little surprised on that one. But again, though, Matt, lap times 44-41 for Gabe, 45-18 for Charles Johnson. So it's over half a second again that last lap.
These guys got to pit.
And I think that might be what those other guys saw. Is that, hey, we got to react to this.
Yeah, I'm sure some of these guys don't have race laps.
Dustin Logston, he's going to lock it down.
Yeah,
Caution's out.
Yellow. Yep.
And that was right as Mike Rimkus and Bob Fitzgerald are on pit road. See, unfortunately, Mike overshot his pit stall. He's going to reverse back. However, you never know with iRacing. Sometimes pitting during the yellow as it comes out, kind of sometimes they'll shoot you in the foot. But what's going to happen is caution's out here, Matt, right at the halfway mark. But the benefit of this is going to be for Nick Wing, Ryan Decker, Ed DeBoer. They are on the lead lap. They just had pitted, so they've got pretty much the most fuel of anybody that just did pit because, again, they pitted 5 laps later than Gabe, Dude, and Eric. So that's going to give some opportunities here as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see there. And you just saw right there coming out is Bob Fitzgerald and then looking for Mike Rimkus. So this is going to be one of those ones now where the admins have to figure it out. And also this is where these guys, you'll see the pace car, they're going to blow right on by here because, again, they should be able to, they're ahead of the leaders. Wait, why are they backing down? They should be able to go here. So the leaders should be picking up Bud Steele. So I think they're trying to get that all squared away as everybody's trying to figure out everything's going on. Oh, no, we got trouble in the back there.
What's going on? Those guys should be able to go past.
They should be able to blow right by, and that kind of stacked up the field, and then there was some confusion. And so I think Mike Rimkus got a shot in the back there. Car looks to be okay, but I think the confusion might be with Bob Fitzgerald and Mike Rimkus because, again, they were ahead at the time of the yellow. But, again, when you're in pit road, when the yellow comes out, it really kind of throws everything off. But before we get to all that, Matt, let's find the cause of this yellow. So we saw Dustin Logston getting some contact, so we'll focus on him. You see him right in front of Seth Groover here in the 81, and it looks like I think there's a little bit of a check up there, and yeah, I saw the flames come out in that point. He just got hooked on the right front there of the 32, and just at that point, again, you're in the grass. There's not much you can do. And you can see he's got the wheel fully turned to try to point it back towards the infield. And then now just the way the car is gripping, it's just going to throw him right back to the outside of the track. And then and then unfortunately he's just going to catch the wall there, right rear then right front. You see Ambrose there just able to sneak underneath him. So yeah, so that's unfortunately the cause of the caution. But somehow just a single car incident here. So we'll jump back live here. You see, so I think it's happening now, Matt, is you've got Bob Fitzgerald, you've got Mike Rimkus. I think they did technically get trapped that lap down, but what they're going to be able to do here is once they get the one to go, they should wave around and get back on the lead lap. And then the other part, I'm looking at the timing and scoring to see is, actually, I think because of that, unfortunately, Seth Groover and then Ambrose Kniebel, those guys are still both trapped one down. And actually, I didn't think about it. Kevin Freese is also still lap down because of the fact that he had pitted. He was basically trying to stay away from being 2 laps down instead of the 1. So I think right now Kevin here is planning on just being the teammate here. So he's not worried about him being on the lead lap. He's basically, hey, I'm going to pit with you guys because we just saw what they were able to do. They're running faster than the leaders. I'll pit with you guys, and that'll give Gabe, Dude, and Eric a chance to get the best results they can get. In order to go for that 4-race championship. Kevin, unfortunately, hasn't been able to make a fair chunk of the races, so he is not in the playoffs. But again, we talked about drivers not in the playoffs sometimes can obviously be a big, big help to the teammates. So right now, after pit stops, Bud Steele is our race leader ahead of Rick Sanchez. And I would not have done that here. I would have stayed out if I was the 08 and 79 because they come in here and that gives up their wave around spots because we're going to get the one to go. So again, not sure on that one either. But yeah, so what's going to happen is Bud Steele's going to take the point. Charles Johnson's going to stay out. He'll start lineup in second. And then Vicente Guerrero here is going to line up in third. And then everybody else here, Matt, topped off here on the one to go. And truthfully, I'm not sure why. We've got 34 to go. We're going to restart 33 to go. That doesn't change the field numbers. These guys cannot make 33 laps on field. So a little surprised why the top off here. Because at this point, it's safely a one stop to the finish. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm not sure why, but it might be just maybe it's one of those things where, again, just put that little bit less fuel in on the final stop. Maybe it changes it from having to plug that second can in to being a one can stop. I mean, there's a lot of potential reasoning for it, but yeah, I'm a little surprised by it. So what's going to happen again, though, Matt, is we're back to the Lucky Dog battle, and now we're going to have 5 cars. You've got Kevin Freeze as one of those in the 25. You got Ambrose Kniebel there in the 04. Now we got to add Seth Groover to the mix, add Mike Rimkus, and then Bob Fitzgerald. All these drivers now are going to be going for the Lucky Dog. Jeremy Osborne, he had a lengthy pit stop. He's actually just catching getting out of the pits now. I don't know if he's going to catch the field, though, Matt, because he's coming out of turn number 2. Now leaders are coming out of turn 4 to take this restart. He's going to have to basically be pedaling that thing as hard as he can to have a chance at this to get back up there.
He's not going to make it.
Yeah, it's going to be close. So we'll see. Like I said, he's going to have a big head of steam, hopefully. But so we'll keep an eye on Jeremy, see how he does. But you can see flags up in the air, waiting for that restart zone. And we are back underway here. 33 to go at the line. And you can see there's the last of the cars coming to the tri-oval. And then here comes the 41. And yeah, you can see here he comes, Matt, to the line. And I don't see the time. Right now he's within 4 seconds of Ed DeBoer. But eventually that's going to start to slow down considerably. So, again, I'm going to keep watching his intervals. It's down to 2.5 now to the Ed DeBoer group. I say now to just over 2 seconds. But yeah, it's starting to even out now. Now it's just slowly clicking. Unfortunately, I think he's about a second too far away. So unfortunately, right now he's going to stay without a draft.
I'm watching Ambrose go way to the back for him.
That's actually a really good point too. Oh, but Ambrose is going to lose too much time going to the
He's losing too much time, Ambrose.
Yeah, and that's one. Again, Daytona's not a track you can run the apron at. So, or did maybe Ambrose have a pit penalty he had to serve, so he decided to just go ahead and get off and not have to pit from the off the racing surface right away. But yeah, unfortunately though, Jeremy Osborne, he loses the draft. But again, a lot can happen here right now. He's still on the lead lap. We talked about the Lucky Dog battle right now, and so now it's going to be Kevin Freeze and Mike Rimkus in the mix of it. You see Mike is actually just 2 cars behind him. And then same thing goes for Seth Groover. Seth is starting to work his way forward as Tom Dixon there poked for a second to that third lane. But yeah, so I think this Lucky Dog battle is going to start to get a little more aggressive, Matt, because Mike Rimkus, Seth Groover, we know those guys are definitely going to try to fight to get up there. So, yeah, might get a little bit busy here.
That could be good news for 41 car back there. If they starting to get a little bit too aggressive.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And again, everybody's starting to build up speed and everything. Last lap, Ed DeBoer there in the 12 car. He ran the fastest lap of the race, almost in the 43-second bracket. It was a 44.01. Wow. Again, just shows you the lap times you can run when you got a full head of steam and some draft. So right now Kevin's leading the outside lane again. Right now he is the first car one down. Sometimes the tail end of the lead lap. But look at Seth Groover. He has already got up there. You see on the inside line that monster car. That is Mike Rimkus again, also going for that Lucky Dog battle. And then Bob Fitzgerald, though, I think Bob is just I think he's going to not really rock the boat too much. I think he's going to try to play it safe. And again, like you said, Matt, if these guys get too racy and a mistake happens, maybe he can react and capitalize on it there. Oh, as we got trouble behind. Oh, big hit there for a couple cars. Wow. Caution is back
Caution is out. Yep.
And now it's just going to be who was where at the time of the yellow there. Unfortunately, though, Zach Perry involved, as was Nick Wing. And unfortunately, Zach Perry missed the front clip of that 76 car. And also that suspension definitely towed out there. And so, yes, that's going to put yellow back out here. See what exactly happened there, because there's a couple things going on at the same time. So we'll back it down here again, and we'll focus on that 76 machine, as he is right in front of Jim Brooks there behind Tom Dixon. And saying it kind of had one of those stack up vibes here, so we'll pick up the pace a little bit. And you see on the outside, oh, actually look on the outside there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dustin actually gets into Dude Conrad, which sends him into the 76.
Yeah,
And
nothing he can do.
And then at that point, I say he's just trying to bounce between the apron and the asphalt. And
he's trying to save that.
I mean, look at Jim here. He's just trying to woe down, and then Eric Laurie in the wrong spot.
Oh, Laurie. Ouch.
Another big hit for Eric there, the 48 as well. And again, if
saved his fast repair.
Yeah, say if Ryan Decker saved the fast repair, he should be okay. Look at Dean here in the 55. Oh, just that's okay. You get away with that. So, oh man, that's a tough one there. So we'll jump back live here though, Matt, because I'm curious to see on the Lucky Dog side of things. And yeah, there's your answer though. You see, Bud Steele is ahead of Kevin Freeze. That means that Kevin was still trapped a lap down. That will put Kevin back on the lead lap. And then we'll have to see what does Seth Groover, Mike Grimkus, what do these guys do? It looks like they're all planning on hitting pit road, but some of them, if they stay out here, they can wave around and get their lap back, and that's exactly what both of them are going to do to get themselves back on the lead lap. So basically, 25 will wave here, 32 and 79 are going to stay out, and then they'll wave on the one to go while the rest of the field here pits. So we'll take a quick break here, and we'll be right back on the one to go. Stay tuned.
.40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. .40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
All right, lights are off of the pace car. Hey, Matt, do you remember what the field mileage I told you was?
Thrown out the window?
No, thrown in the window.
No, in the window.
Because we are going to restart this race with 27 laps to go. I was hearing about 27, or sorry, we're going to restart at 26 to go. We're 27 to go now.
27.
I was hearing about 27, 28 laps of fuel on these tanks, so it could be, there might be a little bit of fuel saving going on, or it might be one of those things where they're just in the window and maybe there's going to be some fuel saving to try to make that green-white checkered. But I mean, right now you look at on the apron there, you see Charles Johnson, you see Rick Sanchez. They're aproning already. That's usually to me a bit of a telltale that they're going to try to play it safe here. So we'll have to wait and see. But basically what we have now is we're going to restart 26 to go we have now 22 on the lead lap. Because again, we talked about Seth Groover, Mike Grimkus, they waved themselves around on that one to go, so they stay on the lead lap here after that. However, again, they will be at a deficit of fuel, so these guys are going to want to have a yellow to be able to make sure that they can make it to the end. And of course, I mean, at this point, business is going to probably start to pick up. So definitely a potential right now. Bob Fitzgerald is actually the only car one lap down. So he's in a good position just to play it safe and get a lap back. Unfortunately, Eric Laurie still getting repairs done to his car because he unfortunately had to use his fast repair previously. And so he is in a tough spot in the 071. Definitely not how he was hoping to start his playoffs here tonight. So we're back up front though, Matt. We're going to hand it over to Charles Johnson. Vicente Guerrero to his outside. And green flag is back out, and we are underway. 26 to go. Just on the edge of the fuel window. Can these guys be able to make it without another stop? Will we see more yellows? Will we see green, white checkers? We'll find out here in a little bit more time here.
I'm just watching in the back, see how well that 76 car is going to stay with the field. I'm just quite curious.
Ooh, yeah. So we went back to him, and yeah, it should stay pretty cool, but what he might need here, Matt, as you can see, he's trying to sniff any draft he can. And I don't think it's going to hang, unfortunately. But
no,
he needs somebody to be, I think, behind him pushing. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think for Zach here right now, he's going to have enough to be able to hang on to the draft. But again, though, what he's going to have to hope for is if there's a little bit of trouble, then he can hop back in the pit road, get more damage repaired, and give himself a chance to get more of that car fixed. Because we've seen, even with long repairs, these cars do get fixed up pretty nicely. So I definitely think there is some possibility to that. But right now, though, man, I mean, you've got a pretty big separation here from Dustin Logston there in the 81 to Ed DeBoer here in the number 12. It's closing back up now, but they were about over half a second apart from one each other. So right now, looks like all's back well there. You see Seth Gruber, he's working with Ryan Decker to push himself forward. And let me take a look at Ryan's car. That's looking bright and shiny. I think that is a fast repair for that 48 machine. So he's going to, same thing, he's going to now try to mind his P's and Q's. As I say, right on cue, I was switching over to our leader there in the 5. And there's Belva.
Hey.
There's Belva popping in there, of course, rooting on that number 5 of Rick Sanchez. Again, love to see Rick back on track after recovering from back surgery. So it looks like he has not lost a step. And remember, Matt, I told you they were so close to running the 43-second bracket.
Yeah.
Somebody did it. Mr. Seth Groover got 43.99 in that number 32 car, fastest lap of the race thus far. And also got a Yep. Also got to give a hi to Mama Groover, who is peeking in on the chat. And yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird racing. It's definitely been busy, but here we go, Matt. Third lane's coming. Bud Steele's going to try to lead the way. I think Ryan's going to go with him. Oh, close to him, dude. Conrad there in the entry, able to stay off each other. But yeah, these guys, again, they're starting to get a little close for comfort here. But yeah, they're starting to get a little racy, and that's, again, where if I'm in a susceptible spot here and I'm trying to keep that car clean, might be time to just kind of roll back a teeny bit. If you don't have a fast repair in your pocket, is where, again, that aggression maybe has to start to back it down just a bit to play it safe. But again, at the same time, if these guys are good on fuel, they know it's time to go. We'll hop out the back. Charles Johnson, you can see right behind him is Robert Hooligan. Was in his corner. You can see that the car starting to disappear on the outside. That is Rick Sanchez. I say he's getting a great push from Vicente here. Apologies. And then I see a couple of boot knockers lined up on the outside, Gabe and Dude. And yeah, there they go on the outside. Here's the momentum shift. There goes Ambrose down to the apron. Here's the push on the back there. And you got Vicente, Dale Earnhardt, Guerrero there. And he did clear for a second, Matt, but opted not to drop to the bottom.
Interesting.
Got Peter popping in, rooting on Ed DeBoer there in that number 12. And as I've only got to chat with him a little bit, Peter, but yeah, Ed's been a really good dude. Really glad to have him over here. And yeah, would not be surprised to see him pull one off here sooner than later because, I mean, again, obviously like he's done this here before, just new to the league, so obviously not everybody knows what he's got in store for the field. So yeah, glad to have him. And also again, I got to thank you, Peter, too. Obviously the lovely overlays for the timing and scoring for the playoff drivers, highlighting them in green so you know where those playoff drivers are. So big thank you to your help on that one, man. Every time we hit playoff time, I'm like, Peter's awesome. He helps me out a lot. So thank you again, bud.
You should learn from Peter. Put it in your pocketbook.
Well, I mean, I've got it all copy pasted, so I've got that part learned. But so he does the legwork. I just benefit from it.
I understand.
But now, and say another. We talked about obviously the Levy designs on the paint schemes for some of those guys. Peter does a bunch as well, and so like, not to add competition, but I say he also puts all the money towards it over to the Extra Life Foundation, which I say they just did the big game weekend where Peter streamed 24 hours doing some of various sorts of gaming. And it's such a good just a good time to say the guys get to have fun. They get to raise money for a great cause. Yeah, so really appreciate it. No, I'm not going to say any more nice things about you, Peter. You only get it once. Sorry, bud.
Hey, is this me on a broadcast? I can make fun of him for his dancing.
Hey, man, you don't want to knock the revolution of dancing. I can't knock it.
I'll give Peter props. I can't do that stuff.
I was gonna say, I'd have zero coordination for it. So, but back up front, the 5-car taking the lead once more here. But yeah, no, that's the thing, man. It was a little bit. Ooh, just saw there for a second. Bud Steele, Dude Conrad, they are so close to each other. There, Dude is kind of just running the edge of the middle to the third lane there, and you can see Bud. He keeps peeking his nose there, and I don't know if that's to cool the car off or that's a hey, I want to get around you. But yeah, and that was the other great thing about the Extra Life Foundation was, I mean, he was doing everything. I mean, he was doing some speed runs, he was doing DDR, he was doing some sim racing. Yeah, it was really cool. And again, for the length of time that he was doing stuff, yeah, it was definitely top notch. And I mean, he started early. I don't know if it was like 4 a.m. to 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. It was something crazy that I say us in our old age would probably struggle to do. I think 12 hours would be about my max. And Matt, we mentioned Zach Perry there, front clip missing. He's going to roll the apron here, let the field swing right on by. Unfortunately, like we said, wasn't able to hang the draft. And then, of course, losing the draft, that thing's basically going to throw an anchor out. So, unfortunately, he's now also a lap down. And Bob right there.
Brian Decker save it. Oh, a 6-car kind of really pinched the 48 toward the wall there. And he had to abandon ship that little trip he had there. Oh, he was able to catch it, but we stay green.
So great save by Ryan there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to catch it as it happened. But do need to mention as well, though, do need to mention that Eric Laurie is back out on track. You can see that left front also just kind of hanging off that car. So, but, oh man, that car is rough shape too. But again, Eric, I mean, he's got to go for it. He's got to get everything he can because he's also going for the championship. So hopefully this won't be a race that hurts him too much. I mean, it's going to hurt because right now he's last on track. But again, though, should something happen right now, he sits 8 laps down. So there is always potential if something takes someone out completely, then maybe he has a chance to at least gain a couple spots and a couple points. So
Seth is not giving that 3 wide up.
You remember the whole fuel saving thing that I thought people might need to do? And I think Seth's like, well, I can't make it anyway, so I might as well just try to get up front as quick as I can and see if I can at least maybe pit from the front of the field. So, but again, he pit around lap 40, so based on that, I mean, he can go to about 67, 68-ish. And you see Eric there, he's down to the apron, he's going to let these guys go on by. But yeah, it's getting racy now. Look at Seth there. He picked Gabe Sott. He jumps up top. And here we go. 3 wide once more for the lead. Rick leading Charles on the bottom. Vicente middle. Gabe on top. Oh, look at Charles going for the middle.
I thought Charles was going to go way to the top there.
Nah, I think the middle's a good spot to be in. Because I think he's going to clear. Yeah, he will. Does he go bottom? Yes, he does. He goes to the bottom there.
Yeah, Robert Hogan tried to give a shot to Rick Sanchez there, but was unable to keep the momentum. But Charles Johnson still in control.
They got
hooked. To it. Yes, they did.
And that right there just shows, you saw right there, Matt, they had a little bit of contact, but then those cars basically got hooked together, and that wasn't them trying to stay on each other. That's, again, we talk about iRacing, talk about netcode. That was iRacing basically holding those two cars together. Hell of a job by both of them to be able to separate themselves and not get caught up in anything worse. And honestly, it was probably lucky that it was right door to door versus left front, left rear kind of a situation there. So we say green, but yeah, we're still got 14 to go here, Matt, and this is a lot of time to race this hard, this tight.
Yeah, Karen, I see your boy up there, up at the very top, and it's making me nervous. These guys are really moving around. Gabe is really wanting that lead.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to push, I mean, all of these guys, I mean, look at the second cars in line. They all have amazing pushers there. You've got Rick, you've got Dude, you've got Seth, and then now, like I said, add Robert Hooligan to the mix there. Now you've also got the 25 Kevin Freese. Oh, you see the 32, he's going to hang out the outside, go to the middle here, and say that's going to be exactly what Charles wanted to see. So that's going to give him a little nose advantage. Not enough to clear, though, still. But yeah, these guys are starting to really dice it up here. And also for Seth, though, he probably start thinking about somewhere where he can get to the bottom in case he may have to make a pit stop before we potentially get a yellow. There you go.
Yep,
Seth got to the inside.
Yep.
Oh, big shot from Charles to Rick there. That's going to keep him a nose ahead. But look at Robert Hooligan now. He took over the inside line here, and he's going to make a shot for this one. And then peeking into the mix now, Jason Bogart. Haven't talked about him a lot, but he's been in this main pack here for most of this run now. And so now he's going to try to join the party as well. So, yeah, everybody's starting to kind of ramp themselves up here. And also the other driver that does need to make a pit stop is Mike Rimkus. Kind of polar opposites right now. We've seen the 32 up and aggressive. The 79 car is just rolling at the back of this pack right now. Do need to mention the 08 Bob Fitzgerald looks like he's lost the draft. So right now he's still a lap down, only car one down. But unfortunately in the position now where he's going to lose the draft in a lot of track time.
Yeah, I've been noticing the 17 car. If he stays right on that back bumper of Robert Hooligan, Rick can maintain that lead. But I've been noticing that top line's actually more organized than those bottom two lines.
Yeah, here comes Jeremy Osborne as well, Matt. He's picked up that third lane there, working right, I think right behind Jude Conrad. So, yeah, right now, like I said, everybody's trying to figure out. So right now you got the top 10 are pretty much right on top of each other. And then I think from like Tom Dixon, I haven't talked about Frank Granger either. He's had a pretty quiet night, but he's now in a great position as well. So, and I think these guys are just trying to play it safe a little bit right now to make sure that if something were to happen, I saw that too, that they can do something with it. So, so we'll keep an eye. We got 10 to go here, Matt. I say they've been going 3 wide for over 5 laps now. Can they continue on for 10 more? That's
a tall order.
Contact.
You jinxed it. That's a yellow.
Yeah, caution's out. Dude, Conrad, I see in the further back there. I see Jim there. I see the 411, 25 involved. I think, unfortunately, I see Ed DeBoer there as well. So
Kevin just towed.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think, night over for Kevin. And so I think, though, that's going to put Bob back on the lead lap right there. So losing the draft, probably not a bad thing for him. And, yeah, that's full-on commentator's curse there on my end. So big apologies to everybody. Let's go back and see. And, I mean, again, it kicked off, I think, with the teammates here. I'm going to focus on Kevin here. I don't know if that car got hot or they just got a little bit separated. So we're watching the 25 here. You see the 8 right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, did that car blow up possibly? Because he loses a lot of speed. I didn't see a puff of smoke, but it's just like that car dropped anchor there. But then unfortunately from here, though,
I'm curious.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a chat. We can bug him real quick. But you see the 41. And there's Tom Dixon, just nowhere to go. He gets the piece. You see the 17, he sneaks underneath it there. But then right here, though, the 411, his contact, and then, yeah, everybody's trying to react in the background there. So you see the 12, the 51, the 81 there.
I just went to Kevin's in-car. I can confirm he did blow up.
So it got too hot there. Look at Dean Wilkinson able to throw the brakes on there. You see Mike Rimkus down on the apron. So the big breaks for these guys, though, Matt, is going to be Seth Groover, Mike Rimkus, and then Pop Fitzgerald. That gives them all back on the lead lap. honestly, I'm looking at some of the damage. Jim Brooks's car doesn't look too worse for wear. So I think he'll be okay. Same thing for the 12. So we'll jump back live. Actually, yeah, you know what? Let's do what you said, Matt. Here, let's hop on with Kevin Freeze. Let's take a listen in here, see if we can hear it. We'll go a little further back. So let's go find Kevin in that 25. Let's hop on and listen here.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, the car goes quiet, and then yeah, here comes everybody in front of him. Him and Dude get to have a close visit there. Yeah, that's a tough break. And again, and that's something I was going to mention as well to you, Matt. Is yeah, these guys, they got to make sure that their temps are going to be in check, because these things will still run hot. So you see right now, Bob, he's waving around. He's going to get back to lead lap, and we had, Matt, the top 8 drivers decided, you know what, we are not going to pit. We can make it still to the end. So top 8 stay out. Ryan Decker is the first of those to hit pit road in the 48 car. And yeah, like Mama Groover saying there, great break for these drivers here. Where's Mike Rimkus there? Actually, where'd Mike disappear to? Haven't found Mike yet. Seth Groover, though, is one of those to benefit from. So he is back out on the lead lap. Plenty of fuel to the end. So really, really good break for Seth. So now he's going to be able to try to vie for the win here tonight. And then unfortunately, some lengthy pit stops continuing on. Eric Laurie is going to try to get as much damage as he can repaired. Zach Perry as well. They have not found the front clip yet, but hopefully they'll be able to find that and plop that on. Then you see Jim Brooks still getting repairs done to his car. Dustin Logston there as well. Bud Steele, Dude Conrad. So a number of drivers involved in this one. And you can see also opting again, damage repairs manually. Is that because they don't have a fast repair? Is it because they still, just in case, they want to save it? So we'll see, though, Matt, is these guys are going to basically limp this thing as far as they can. And then once that pace car starts to get close to them, which is just about to happen, we'll probably see a bunch of cars start to roll out of pit road. And yeah, here they go. There goes Dude. There goes the 76, the 51, the 81. All these guys going as far as they can without getting trapped a lap down. Bud Steele. Actually, what's happened to Bud here? Did he have to take a tow, Matt? Because he's going to come out behind the pace car, unfortunately. That's going to trap him down a lap.
Whoa, I have to do a little bit of...
I don't think he towed, but I'm not positive there. But that's a tough one, because, yeah, that traps him down a lap here. He's the only car lap down. But, yeah, so that's unfortunate there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Bob Fitzgerald as well. He's going to hit pit road here, get that splash of fuel. And then I'm going to go back. Let's take a look here again at Zach Perry. Nope, they did not find the front clip there. So as you can see, he and Eric Laurie both have some significant suspension damage on the front end as well. So, Matt, we're not in green-white checker territory yet. You see also a number of drivers rolling the apron here, saving fuel. So, yeah, so we're going to see how this shakes out. But we're going to restart this thing with 6 to go. And, again, for those that aren't familiar, I'm sure, again, I'm probably a broken record at this point. I apologize. But the way it works is if there's a caution that comes out before the leaders take the white flag, caution will come out and we will stack them up for up to 3 attempts. And again, if they get to the white flag at that point, it's pretty much they race to the finish. That's just how iRacing does it. They don't throw a yellow on the white flag. However, if there is a yellow before the white flag on the 3rd and final attempt, that would be the finishing order of the race. They basically freeze the field at the time of the yellow, and that will be the result. I honestly don't know the last time that's happened. Hopefully it won't happen here tonight, so we'll wait and see. But right now, yeah, pretty much everybody has gotten back up to the field, so we will have 19 cars on the lead lap here going for the win. And unfortunately, I don't think Mike Rimkus, unfortunately, Mike Rimkus has not come back out. I think he may have got disconnected, so that's a tough one for the 79. Did such a good job strategy-wise, and unfortunately, that's going to cost him here at the end. So back up front, though, Matt, we've got Rick Sanchez, we've got Charles Johnson, waiting for that green flag to fly. And we are back and away. 6 to go here at the line. Fuel is possibly still an issue for some of our leaders, but then those that pitted there from Ryan Decker on back, no fuel dramas. These guys can run all 3 green-white checkers. Now it's just who can get to the front and get to the win here tonight at Daytona.
I think those front guys are in pretty good shape. Those laps, you know the 2-1 rule on their caution, so I think they'll be quite all right.
See a big shot there from Charles Johnson to Rick Sanchez. But right now, look at Vince. He is locked onto that rear bumper. You can see from that camera there. Locked onto Robert Hooligan there. Robert's going to have a nose ahead as these guys starting to get aggressive. Dean Wilkinson straight to the third lane. You know Seth's going to take up there too. These guys are going to be pushing like everything they have, Matt, here as we're going to come to 5 to go here at the line.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to do what you did.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to enjoy this racing that we have. As
Look
right now,
at Dean Wilkinson on the outside.
Yeah, but say Dean's going up there, and we always joke if there's a third lane, Seth's going to be in it, and that is exactly where he is. Look at also the 17 now, Jason Bogart. He's going to pop up there as well. And so, yeah, so these guys are going to start to vie for that position because, again, now it's everybody has their theories. Which lane's best, the inside, the middle, the outside, and also what lanes you feel safest in. Sometimes people think, you know what, if I'm on the inside line, if there's an incident, I can avoid it. If you're on the outside middle lanes, you might be a little bit more susceptible. So we'll wait and see. But right now, like you said, Dean's got a great charge on the outside, just about to get to the door of Rick. And we will see as they get to 4 to go. Contact.
Oh, hang on to it. Oh, that scared the crap out of me.
They hung on to their Frank Ranger and Gabe Butler. Great saves again by Gabe. Another great save by Frank there as well. So we continue to see right there, Jason Bogart, I think he decided to change plans here. He's rolled back out just a little bit here, and he's going to try to get back after it. And you can see there are 2 split packs right now from Jason Bogart back to Nick Wing. So unfortunately, those guys, I believe, probably just damaged not letting those guys catch the field as well. Oh, but right there, big move by Charles Johnson, and now Rick's got to wait for help from Seth Groover. That's going to cost him a little bit of track position here, and that's going to allow, look at Charles, he's immediate. Oh, got Gabe stuck in the wall. He gets unhooked from it. Look at Rick here jumping to the outside around Charles. Going to return the favor.
Smart move by Rick there. That was a really smart move.
Yeah, he almost returned the favor. Oh, the third.
Oh, I got to it. Oh, my God. These guys are showing no remorse.
Well, I think right there, I think the 14-5 had the same idea, said, hey, let's get to that middle lane, and they both try to go for it at the same time. And once again, yeah, the 14-5 hooked doors there for a second. They hang on to it. But right now, Robert Hooligan, again, he's going to try to spoil this playoff party here.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't care. He wants a win for himself. Same thing for Charles Johnson, Ryan Decker. These guys just want to win a race. Frank Ranger Jr. is right there in the mix as well. So, yeah, these guys are going for all of it. So, and that's what we love to see is you're not just going to, as a little bit of contact, they're not going to just roll over there. They want to win these races. As we got 2 to go here, Matt.
I want to see this thing go green to the end. I'm up in my chair actually. Kind of really enjoying this one.
Now this is a great fight right now. So basically, we have the top 14 all locked on together. Dean's a little further back, so it might be really the top 13 with Quabi Brooks. As you can see, Seth there. He's got
Ryan Decker on the outside. He's got some help.
He's got Ed DeBoer. You know Ed's going to stay committed to him. Those are teammates over. Oh, my goodness. Look at Gabe Butler. He's going to go up there with him. Watch Nick Wing. I think Nick's going to stay up there as well. I said they got to get through this trial over here before they get the white flag, Matt. And if they do, this will be an official race. And they do get there. White flag's out, Matt. At this point now, it's just who gets to the flag first within reason. Again, no Oh, there's trouble. That leaves three cars. All right, so now you got Robert Hooligan, Rick Sanchez, Ryan Decker. Someone's got to try to make the move. Right now, Robert's in. Oh, there's still Rick in the back there. All right, so Ryan's able to lock on to Rick here. And again, playoff-wise, Rick wants this thing. They don't want any troubles. Does Ryan stay with Rick, or does he try to make a move out of 4 here, Matt?
Oh, I would have dropped back for but I think he's content just to run second.
We'll wait and see as they come out of 4. Will it be Rick returning from surgery to get a win? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Rick Sanchez getting the win here tonight at Daytona over Ryan Decker. Robert Hooligan is going to bring it home in 3rd. And then out of the carnage will be Dean Wilkinson in 4th. Tom Dixon at top 5. Jeremy Osborne, great recovery for him up into 6th. Then Nick Wing there loops it down through the trial. Oh my goodness, huge wreck there at the back there. As he got cars up and over there, but Nick Wing's going to grab 7th Quabi Brooks and 8th Ed DeBoer, Jim Brooks there through 10th. All right, Matt, let's go back.
Robert Hooligan. Yeah.
Great run for
Yeah. Almost got that first win.
All right.
I would have been happy for that.
No, that would have been great. So let's get back to the wipe because there was a lot that happened here. So I had to scroll for a while to even get to the white flag. So we're going to focus on Vicente here because it was around Vince where the contact happened. So they get to the white. And then you see the 14 car. He's on the inside line. And I think this is where things just began. So let's get a closer angle of this one here. So we'll watch Vicente here on the inside line. He drifts up just a little bit. He catches Seth Groover. That's going to also hook Charles Johnson. And then unfortunately from there, like I said, it's just everybody's just trying to find a way to get through here. And there's the contact for all these guys. And then at this point, it's just kind of just everybody's just, okay, we got to grab a gear and get going to try to get their best result we can. You look at these guys on the apron trying to find a way through. They also get caught up in it as well. And then let's see if we can find now from here kind of where the race continues. See Tom Dixon, Quabi Brooks, they're just trying to keep these cars pointed straight. And it looks like at that time, it looks like Quabi's able to hold it. But the problem is that car, here's everybody else trying to get through there as quick as they can. So here's Quabi. That car is completely damaged. Look at Tom Dixon. He's trying to let him merge. There goes Dean Wilkinson on by. Same thing, Nick Wing trying to get all he can. And so some of these guys basically, Matt, they have less damage, but it's just getting all the momentum done. And then here's another pack here that was behind that incident. And so they're going to try to get all that they can. And so I think that's where people are probably starting to try to be a little greedy here. You see Jim Brooks, he's able to hold off of Dude Conrad there, Eric Laurie. So that's where Jim's able to get that top 10. But what a chaotic finish. So while we'll go back now to our race winner here in that number 5. And while we watch him, let's pull up our final results before we get to our top 3 interviews. As it is going to be Rick Sanchez winning the Daytona race, playoff race number 1 here. Again, sponsored by Levy Design. So again, big thank you to Les. Rick over Ryan Decker, Robert Hooligan, another podium. And then Dean Wilkinson, top 5s with he and Tom Dixon. Jeremy Osborne, 6th for the Blind Squirrel team. And then you got Nick Wing, Quabi Brooks, Ed DeBoer, Jim Brooks there, 7th through 10th. Dude Conrad able to still bring home in 11th. Gabe Butler, 12th. Frank Ranger, Charles Johnson, Jason Bogart there. And then Vicente Guerrero, Dustin Logson, Seth Groover. Unfortunately, all in the mix there, just not what they needed at the end, unfortunately, getting caught up in those incidents. And then you've got Bud Steele there as well. I still don't know what happened to Bud there, getting trapped that lap down. Then Bob Fitzgerald, Zach Perry, Mike Rimkus, Ambrose Knable, Kevin Freeze, and Eric Laurie. All right, so now let's go find some drivers to chat with. We're going to try to find this Robert Hooligan fella. See if he's hiding in here yet. All right, I haven't found a Robert yet, so we're going to jump over to our runner-up. So while we wait for Robert, we're going to pull in a Ryan Decker, Matt. And Ryan, we were wondering, Matt and I were talking, it's like, he could have lagged back and tried to get a big run and see if he could snag the win. Was there any temptation there, or was it, you know what, I'm just going to stay lockstep and kind of take what we were able to sneak through in that last lap wreck?
You know me, man. Listen, I'm always pushing somebody. So, I mean, Rick's in the playoffs, so I was like, give it to Rick. And I've raced with him several times. And, you know, I like sticking with guys who's, you know, was raced in this league for a little while. And I'm just here for fun this season anyway. So I figure I might as well push him, get him the win, and make the playoffs a little more interesting.
Well, I will say this there, Ryan. The key for you to get back up front is saving that fast repair. That one little incident you got caught up in, none of you doing, just a little bit of damage, and that big, awful, that awful wreck you took, you were able to save that fast repair. How is it like, you know, for me as a driver, how does it feel to, you know, get wrecked like that and just come back through the field and just be up front and just had an opportunity to take a win, but you end up pushing Rick Sanchez?
Yeah, it's I mean, it's one of those things of definitely you gotta save that. I mean, I'm glad these cars once I didn't have too much damage where I can get the thing fixed. I think I had to get it fixed like twice to be honest with you because I got caught up in 2 wrecks. But I mean, there that last end, I had to take that fast repair because I could not push whatsoever. Because I tried to push Bud on the outside a little bit, and I just couldn't push him. I was like, dude, I can't do nothing. So there, that last caution, I was like, I'm pitting, taking my fast repair, and saying, screw it, I'm going to the front. But it's always exciting, to drive, with the at least to stay up with the guys that are, clean. If you do have a little bit of damage, you got to kind of have to watch your runs, at least get help whenever you can, and then stay as close as you can. To be honest with you, but I'm glad I had a few people to help me along the way. Dean helped me even one time to get back up. Nick helped me get up there a little bit. So I mean, it's good to have people around you that will help you get back up to the front, and that's what it takes in these races.
Yeah, and then like I said, Matt was spot on there. We're talking about the keeping the fast repair for you, and then the one thing we did notice was you were able to hold the draft safely, but it looked like the car just wasn't comfortable. Was there still like maybe some like wheel damage or suspension stuff going on, or because it looked like you were it looked like you had your hands full more than others just after you kind of got some of that damage repaired.
Yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't suck up very well. It wouldn't just turn very well as far as behind
Okay.
somebody or anything like that. But I mean, it, once we got it fixed and all, it was wonderful. But like most of that race, I'd say about 90% of it, where I got that damage early on, it just wouldn't go. So
Well, either way, man, I say obviously I missed your return on Thursday night, obviously, but it was really good to see you back out here again too. As I know you've obviously you and Caitlin been super busy, so anytime we get to catch you in the race, it's always a good thing. And I was a little bummed I didn't get to see her in the chat, but man, it's always great to see you. And before we let you go, though, definitely want to give you the floor for any thanks and shouts for that runner up tonight.
oh, well, right now she's doing all the Christmas stuff, getting ready for putting up Christmas tree, wrapping presents, and everything else like that. So she was like, "Listen, I can't do that and watch the kids at the same time." so, so
Well,
you got to thank her for letting me do this.
I mean, if she needs my address for presents, let me know. I'm always down for some extra.
Oh, I bet. But yeah, I like to thank y'all guys, Area 51. Y'all doing the broadcast. I mean, Ring White Checker TV. Um, as far as all the admins putting this on and dealing with all of us, I know we're a headache every now and then. Got to thank Caitlin and Cincy, shout out to her and everything she does. I think was Whiplash Camera still
Yep.
doing everything.
Yep.
Y'all really have to put a list up here so we can think.
We'll get
guys?
it. Yeah, we'll
I've
get an
been
interview
asking
cheat sheet.
for a while, But yeah, I'd like to thank everybody. At least racing in this league. It was a good field tonight. I will say that much. But yeah, I'd like to thank y'all and everything you do, man.
Nah, so you guys make it easy for us to do. It's always such a fun race with you all. And obviously, like I said, on our side, yeah, definitely giving you and Kaylin all our love. I say, hope you guys have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, look forward to seeing you on track here when you're able to. Obviously, we'll be off on Thursday because I think there's some sort of holiday going on. But yeah, man, have a really happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, definitely enjoy the time with the family, man.
There's a holiday Thursday. Normally, everybody just skips.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that holiday. I'm gonna have a bunch of people over, and yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
All right. Well, y'all have a good Thanksgiving and happy Thanksgiving to everybody else out there. All right.
All right, Ryan. Thank you very much, and have a great holiday, buddy.
All right. You too. See ya.
All right, that is Ryan Decker. Unfortunately, Matt, it does sound like Robert Hooligan does not have Discord set up, so unfortunately, we won't be able to get a top 3 interview with him. We're gonna have to get him eventually set up because he's been having some really stout runs. So
Yeah,
definitely a big shout out to Robert though. Hell of a job tonight. We'll give that car a little bit of love though, at least, so we can show off that machine there in that number 126. So on our side, Robert, just awesome job tonight. Like I said, you've been relatively new to the league here, but I mean from race 1, I mean it was obvious that it's only gonna be a matter of time before you get up on that top step, and we can't have a top step finish without an interview. So yeah, we're gonna be working on you, buddy.
I did get a message from him. I heard him in iRacing. He said, "Give us a big shout out. Just thank you for the broadcast and everything." And he appreciates everybody here. And I know his first win's coming. It's coming, Gaio.
And that's exactly it. But the thing is, like I said, I want to be able to interview that first one because we love first time winners. But yeah, it'll be fun to see though.
I think I'll message him iRacing to get him set up.
Yeah, we'll get him squared away.
But in the meantime, Gaio, we have to interview a winner.
Yeah, I don't think he's a first time winner, but it might be a first time post surgery upgrade. I don't know. Is this Rick Sanchez 2.0? What version are we at now, Rick?
2.5, I think.
All right. Well, I mean, first off, man, I mean, we're just happy to see you back on track. It sounds like the recovery's been going real well. Like I said, on my side, I've seen recovery from back surgery with my dad, and it's no easy thing, man. But yeah, it's really, really good to have you back on track. And yeah, it looked like you didn't lose a step here tonight. You're in the thick of it. You had some close calls. You had a little bit of door, I don't know what you want to call it. I guess door net code where you got hooked to you and Vicente a couple times. I mean, there's a lot going on tonight for you.
The usual stuff. Yeah, no, I felt good. About the back surgery, I'm amazed at how they do it now. The first one was hell on me. Took a couple weeks before I could get out of bed. This new stuff they do is amazing, and feeling pretty good. Just over 3 weeks, and yeah, felt good. Didn't get tired out here or nothing. Sore, and it's great racing out here. All these guys pushing it and everything, and I'm surprised we didn't have more yellows as tight as we were running, and everybody. I thought it was a great race. I don't know how I looked to y'all, but from my point of view, it was great.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous. Talk about the crazy moves, probably with about 2 to 3 to go on Charles Johnson there, and who was that on the outside? I can't remember who that was.
I think was Gabriel on the third line, maybe.
Yeah,
no,
I think he was.
And Dean was too at one point. You're right.
Yeah, Dean was too. Yeah,
I'll have to go back and refresh the memory. I know they're you get down to 5 to go, you gotta take your shots when you find them. When your opens come, and it worked out for me, and it's a shame we couldn't have finished 3 wide. 3-4 deep like we were running. That'd have been great at the end, but yeah, it was fun.
No, it was a really Matt and I were definitely we were definitely kind of a little bit hyped up more on this one.
I know.
Yeah,
I was watching lap countdown and going, oh my god, I got 19 more laps of this.
Yeah.
Oh my god, 10 more laps of this. And
that was
gonna hang on.
Well, I said I have to apologize. I definitely commentators cursed it because I was like, man, there's 15 more laps. Like, I don't know if they can do this. And like literally the next next turn, I think there was a big crash. So yeah, so I own up to that one. But as I then. It doesn't phase you guys. You go right back to going 3x3 at to the end there. And yeah, it was really fun watching you guys dice it up, top lane, bottom lane. Like everybody's trying to figure out where to position themselves. And yeah, it was a blast.
You just had to take it where it came. If your open came to the top, go there. If it was in the middle, go there. And hope the guy behind you can get to you in time. To stop the guy from the outside or in.
Yeah, exactly.
Bottom getting clear.
And actually,
that's happened. So
yeah, exactly.
Jumping around.
And I say, Matt, actually, we talked about him not being a first time victory. And it's actually though his first win this season here on the Sunday series. So,
whoa,
a good time. Yeah, I'll say that's what I was saying too. But he's had 5 top 5s. But yeah, this is the first win so far this season.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking it would be the first time for the 126 next to me. And that wouldn't be a bad thing either. So, but. Yeah, he was pushing his butt off and did a great job out there.
Oh yeah, Robert. Yeah, I said we were talking about him too. Is we got to get him set up on Discord because so he's gonna get top step here sooner than later.
He's gonna be on the podium quite a bit. Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll have to have someone pretend to be him and do his interview for him. But
right.
No, like I said, Rick, with all like I said, we're just super happy that you're recovering well and getting you back on track. Because like I said, and that's what I told you a couple times was just.
Yeah,
take
it
care of
easy.
yourself first. Don't force the issue. And that's why I checked in with you. It's like, hey, are you like, I don't want to push you, but like you are in the playoff if you want to try to run it. So yeah,
Yeah, and I told you I kind of overdid it outside, and that's why I didn't make last week's race. But because I just was wore out, and then I was kind of worried. Oh, I hope you didn't overdo it, and hurt
yeah,
yourself. And so just lay down for a couple days and take it easy.
yeah. Don't be a stubborn old man like we all have a bad
Yeah.
habit of doing. But man, I'd say it was good
See,
to
I
have you
had
back.
had people helping me, and it's hard for me to sit in here when somebody is outside
Yep.
busting their butt for me, And it's
Yeah, I
like,
know what you mean. But yeah, so you,
eh.
you brought your fan club back to YouTube. So I'd say that's selfishly why we want you back, just to have them back on YouTube. But no, man, I say obviously before we let you go and enjoy the week and everything too, definitely want to give you the floor for any thanks and shouts for that win tonight.
Oh, everybody, uh, the usual. Area 51 always having great races. Uh, Green, white, checkered, putting on a great show for us all to watch. Got to go watch that again. And shout out to 40 Racewear, Whiplash Sim Cams, and Cincy. And shout out to all the drivers and the family. Thanks, guys.
He's got it spot on, Gaio.
Yeah, it's like he's done this before, Matt.
Yep.
And I had to pull up my cheat sheet.
But no, Rick, like, yeah, man. I mean, great job tonight. Like I said, really glad to see you getting better. And yeah, so make somebody else, if you guys are doing turkey, whatever, make somebody else lift it. Cause like I said, yeah, keep recovering, get fully healed up, and look forward to seeing you back on track soon, though, sir.
All right. Thanks, guys. Catch y'all next time.
Thank you, man.
Later, bro.
All right, Matt. That is our race winner in that number 5, Rick Sanchez. And yeah, like I said, I mean, again, everybody's got, and that's things like we always talk about week in, week out. Also, like everybody's going through something or other, and I mean, and that's why this is always a really good escape if you're physically up to it. So, again, Rick recovering from this, and there's, I mean, obviously Ryan and Kalen have everything they've got going on, so it's just really cool to see everybody be able to kind of maybe step away from reality for a little bit and go and be able to enjoy the racing with people. And obviously there's the competitive side of all that, but yeah, it's just a lot of fun to see all these drivers out and about and hopefully having a good time.
Yeah, man. Me and Rick talked quite a bit, just before we started racing here. He took his week off and everything like that, and asked him how the family was doing. He's doing great, and he said he's trying other leagues, for himself, and it's kind of made him a better driver. And he comes here and just whips on everybody.
Yeah, no, he's a very, very talented driver, but yeah, I say it's gonna be a lot of fun to see us, and also, like, I mean, again, the selflessness and kind of camaraderie. Ryan Decker's like, hey, I know he's going for a championship. They've raced well together, so it's like, yeah, might as well. I want to help a guy that's been good to me, and so that's a great opportunity for Rick now, because he's gonna jump 7 points now after the race number 1 over Dean Wilkinson. And again, there's only 4 races now, 3 more to go, so that's a big thing to have in your pocket. To, again, you hope to not have a bad race, but you might always need that mulligan potentially. So we've got plenty of racing left to go to find out how it's going to all shake out. We'll be back coming up in just a couple nights' time, Matt, at Kansas with the Area 51 IndyCar Open or Oval Series. There's the right word I was looking for. A great start to the season last week at Homestead. And looking forward to seeing that one. And then obviously off on Thursday. And then we'll be back again on Sunday. So, Matt, as always, appreciate everything that you do. And everybody that watches the Super Speedway side of things, hope you all have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with the family. Safe travels. For those that maybe watch all of it, we will see you again on Tuesday night at Kansas. Until then, as always, take care, stay safe, have a good night.